Welcome to another episode of Epic Sketch Time. My name is Mark Monolix. I'm a freelance illustrator here in Tacoma, Washington. I like to do cartoon movie reviews, and you can find those online at the Comic Critic. Actually, that website might be down, so just contact me and I'll send you a link where you can subscribe. I got a couple of books out, and this week I'm going to be working on Movie Aliens. And with me today, I have Pat McEwen and Bill Morris. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves and your websites.
Okay, my name is Bill Morris. I'm a freelance illustrator and cartoonist from Seattle, Washington. I do a webcomic called Rhapsodies, which you can find at rhapsodies.wpmorris.com.
My name is Pat McEwen. I do a comic called The Devil and Mr. Gandhi, and you can read that at devilandgandhi.com.
Well, Pat, we haven't seen you in a while, so what have you been up to?
I've been dealing with life and all the things that come along with life. So I have missed being able to show up on Epic Sketch Time. I've also been doing a lot more analog work, actual paper, pen, pencil type of stuff. So after I had finished finalizing my third issue of The Devil and Gandhi, I was so kind of sick of being on a computer and doing, basically graphic design and bleeds and putting together spreads of pages that I kind of I haven't done anything digitally art-wise in quite a long time too. So between that and the holidays, I also had a back issue that I'm just getting over now. So dealing with a bunch of stuff, but I hope to make many more appearances on Epic Sketch Time and see what you guys are up to.
Well, I want to let everybody know that we won't be meeting next week because next week is a federal holiday. And unless I get someone else to host the meeting for me, I always take federal holidays off because my wife is a federal employee, and thus it's a nice getaway day for the two of us. Just to make you sad for coming back and having to leave again, Pat. I'm so sorry about that.
I'll get over it.
Okay. And let's see. So what you're seeing on my screen right now is a truly horrible movie called The Creeping Terror. And this thing basically was described by the folks on MSK 3000 as the carpet monster. And it would roam around and eat people by sucking them into its body.
I thought it looked familiar, but I might have been mistaking it for something Lovecraftian. Probably giving it way too much credit.
Oh, so much credit. So much undue credit. So let's see. I was in the process of putting out the Twitter announcement. So I'm going to finish doing that, and I'm going to start coloring this. Bill, what are you working on today?
At the moment, I've been playing around with a bit of a publicity for that space opera I keep claiming I'm working on. This is some of the side characters for it, the street gang called the Bonnie Gents. And so I'm sort of doing this, so here's this, it's sort of doing it as this group shot with all of them looking smug and scary with a quote line and then what the logo for the comic itself. I was thinking of playing around with some character design as well, but I'm kind of on a roll with this thing.
Now, did you say space opera?
That's correct.
'Cause I'm getting a Gangs of New York vibe from this.
There's a bit of that, and I say space opera though for all practical purposes, as far as science fiction terminology is concerned. It probably is more accurately a planetary romance.
Aha.
But I like to I still prefer the term space opera because stuff is going on in the background. But the working title, as you can see on the page here, is Shanty World, and the main premise of it, well, the basic idea was originally, long ago I read this article about galactic empires in the Encyclopedia of Science Fiction that complained that most galactic empires are too human-centric, and if you are enough of a Trekkie to know what the coordinates of Earth are, you'll know what they mean. So I regarded that as a challenge and sort of started trying to come up with a setting where humanity was at the bottom of the heap.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Russ Richards.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Say
A little
hi
late.
and what you're working on today.
I'm working on this animation for a chiropractor, so I'm actually almost characterizing him because he's going to be in the video. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Very cool.
Yeah. I might switch it up a little later. I got a couple other things I got to work on for Comic-Con coming up. So.
Now, I happen to be in Emerald City Comic Con as well. I'm kind of curious. I'm at table, I think, NN3. Where are you located?
I'm at Brill's table. So wherever Brill is, that's where I'm going to be.
Very cool.
But I don't know. I haven't really looked it up. I probably should look that up and post it.
You know what I should probably be working on is not this. This is not an urgent project. What is an urgent project is my Fright Night poster motif.
That's right. You got what, a month this Friday.
Yes, a month this Friday, and I have I'm doing Reanimator. I just got through doing the logo for it last night, and that came out pretty well.
Let's see this.
I think I have the logo.
Oh, the logo. I thought you had some of the other stuff done on it already.
Oh no! As a matter of fact, hang on. Let me see if I have. Let's see if I have something on a recent here. Let's see.
Oh, cool.
You done? You're done?
I was just reminded that I sort of did a kind of Reanimator sketch a couple of years ago that I was thinking of doing a finished version of.
Let's see, I think it's in this folder here. Whose phone is that?
Not mine.
Sorry, me.
Yeah, so anyway, my one attempt at Reanimator that I thought had possibilities.
Oh, that's cool.
So as you can see here, I haven't gone very much farther than just grabbing a few visual references.
Awesome.
And my game plan is to go with a kind of very dark blue, black, purple color for the background.
Nice.
Mhm.
And as you can see, I got the logo going in up here, and I just did the vector for it last night. I should be able to open up that real quickly. If I save it, yeah, here it is. This font was heavily used in the 80s.
Huh.
So I'll just I can actually plop that into place. Come on, copy. Why isn't that showing up? Every now and then I have a brain fart like this. I went to that layer and I copied it. There. Got it. Copy. So I should be able to go on here and paste, but it's not showing up. Oh, that's why it's too dinky. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I'll have to enlarge my vector before I import it in. So I'm taking a shortcut this week and going to do some tracing. So what I'm going to do is I'll take this and I'm going to probably lighten up this scrap reference here. Then I'm going to posterize it and see how it looks on a 4-stage or 6-stage posterization, because I want to have the white, and I'll be doing white, and then I'm doing green as the main color, and then I'll do a darker tint color with a blue, and then a highlight color with a yellow, and then by controlling the opacity on those, see how vivid or how garish I can make it.
Right on.
So Russ, your character, you're
Yes.
Mr. Clean Guy.
Yeah. This is him over here. Trying to kind of mimic him.
Are you going to be creating his arms and legs in separate library elements so that you can animate them? Or
Yes. So it'll be, yeah. I'm gonna break it up into Flash, or we'll animate, formerly known as Flash, and then I'll probably finish the animation in After Effects. Like use After Effects as a camera. But for the most part, it's just going to be moving elements that just move. It's just going to be my drawings that just have a little bit of animation to them. It's not going to be like a full, like what you see, like, you know, cartoons or anything like that.
so I try not to put in more than 10 hours on any of my prints.
No, why is that?
Because I'm lazy. And I'm a businessman. If I can't, I got more work to do than this.
I figured it was more of a discipline than any. I was going to give you credit that it was more of a discipline thing.
I really like this Howling Hat Head. And then down at the bottom, I'm leaving space for the multiple logos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have a Grizzly neck bits here. And somewhere in here, I got to have the text, cat dead, details later, because that's a key line in the movie.
Nice.
Has anyone here seen Reanimator?
Of course.
Says Russ, but I'm looking at Patrick and Bill. I'm kind of wondering.
I'm embarrassed to say I haven't even read the Lovecraft novella.
I saw the movie many years ago.
I mean, I know it stars the same guy who was the voice actor for the Question in Justice League.
Yep.
So, Patrick, when you saw it many years ago, was it in college or?
I don't even remember. It was. Yeah, I have no clue. What I distinctly remember about it was the movie was recommended by my aunt. My mother's sister recommended it to, like, either maybe it was me and my brother. Maybe she saw it and then said, "Oh, you and your brother should watch this." So we had no idea coming from our aunt,
Yeah. That almost reminds me of this time a friend of a son of a friend who had been got into the Abarat, who had been reading the Abarat books by Clive Barker, his only children's series, coming to me later on and going, "Bill, did Clive Barker write anything else?" And I'm going, "Yes, but I probably shouldn't tell you about them." And he's going, "Why not?" "Because they'll give you nightmares for life," which he thought was a cool thing.
I got to meet Clive Barker once. I got him to draw in my sketchbook. It was awesome.
I'm told he's a really, really, really nice guy.
He is.
From what my friend who's met him a few times says, he can be a bit of a flirt, which is kind of disconcerting for the heterosexuals out there. But other than that, very.
Yeah, when I met him, I was at a convention, and they were like, "Oh, you got to keep it to like 1 minute or 2 minute." And so when I asked him to do a sketch, like his I don't know what you would call him, like a handler or whatever, he got like all upset and was all like, "No, we need to move the line." And Clive Barker looked at him and he goes, "No, he asked me for a sketch," and like full blown told him off, and then did the sketch for me. So it was kind of cool.
I do like the man's illustrations. I mean, most of them look like wax crayon work, but yeah, I mean, the stuff he did for Abarat is gorgeous.
Yeah. Mark, are you going to Pet Cemetery on Friday?
Oh, is that this Friday?
Yeah.
Is it Pet Cemetery 1 or Pet Cemetery 2?
Part 1.
Oh, man.
It's the good one.
I didn't realize it was Pet Cemetery. I'm going to have to consider it.
Yeah.
And I probably will be going to it because it's very hard for me to say no to that type of stuff.
Yeah, same. Did you see the poster that they're making for it?
No, I haven't seen. Who did the poster for it?
Gee, what's her name? I'll look it up. She's a local artist, obviously. Let's see real quick.
Gentlemen, as promised, I'm going to make my departure a bit early tonight.
Oh,
Yes. I will not see anyone next week because of Mark's rule about federal holidays. He's an anarchist, if you don't know. But hopefully I'll see you a week after next.
Hopefully. Look forward to it.
Her name is Meescha, I believe. Meescha.
okay.
If you just go to the Friday Nights Frights webpage or their Instagram, she's got the post there. But it looks like it's done with watercolor. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Meescha Dare is her name. I don't know if that's her real name, but if you look on Instagram, that's what her name pulls up as.
This is the first time I've decided to do a poster completely digital.
Really?
I typically do stuff pen and ink, scan it in sections, and then clean it up. But I figure if I do it like this, then I can save all that time I would cleaning things up.
No, for sure.
But problem is when I do something digital like this, I want to undo the stroke and then redo the stroke again.
Hmm.
I know how that is.
And when I do it pen and ink, I give myself a lot less latitude. So I'm like, oh yeah, I drew the line. It's done. That's it. That's what it's going to be like.
Right.
So I'm going to try to have that type of viciousness with myself here.
Well, if you're only giving yourself 10 hours, yeah, you're going to have to. I just did the I Love Comic-Con down in Vancouver this weekend.
How was the I Love Comic Con?
It was a good show. I'd say the show itself will be better next year, but for sure a good show. I think you missed out, Mark. You would have liked it.
In Vancouver, Washington?
Yeah.
Is that the one where they had was Matt Young, Mark, the guest of honor, or was that a different comic book convention?
No, that was. I believe this was it. Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, I always have it set for that just to keep me on the straight and narrow. And
Of course, no worries.
one point I had it set for 15, and that was just drove me crazy in a couple of weeks.
I went and saw Winchester this weekend.
Oh, was it good?
On a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 4.
Oh, jeez. I will wait for that to come out on DVD then, or streaming at least.
Is this the one about the haunted mansion that the heiress kept building?
Yeah.
It's the Winchester Mansion?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
I actually been to that house.
You know, I was in San Jose on a project for a client, and I wanted to see it, but I just didn't have enough time.
Man, that's a shame. It's worth it. It's pretty creepy.
I was curious about it for a project once. I have a few pictures of it on file, but I get the impression it's one of those things that you really need to see in person.
Yeah, me and my wife, we actually went on our honeymoon to it. So we had traveled up the coast, and we stopped in San Francisco for a few days, and we actually drove down to it from San Francisco. That's when you know it's true love, when your significant other will go to a creepy old house on your honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
So the project I had was through a gal named Marnie Shirley. And I was called in to do these icons on a toolbar for some software that was being developed. And do you guys know what database warehousing is?
Sounds familiar.
Database warehousing is where you basically convert databases from one format to another format. And while it's pretty standard now, there can be, the problem is when you're converting databases, there are often all these commands, either numeric commands or instructional commands. And you don't want to lose those because you spent hours creating them, and they often make the information that you have on your database is completely crucial to have that move over. Otherwise, it makes no sense. So I had to come up with a toolbar and icons to represent the various types of these translation functions. So you know how in a toolbar you've got the little arrow, you got all this stuff over here. You got the magnifying glass, the gripper, the pointer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to come up with tools that not only express that, but then I later had to design them to fit the 16-bit formatting that they were doing at the time. So that was pretty exciting stuff. To actually come up and make icons that would become industry standard. Of course, it was so long ago, I've completely mislaid all my work. I did. So what I'm doing here is I've got multiple images set at different posterization levels. And that way I can quickly decide what I'm going to have in the detail on the black and white. And then for the rough blocks, I can just go right here and say, okay, this wide swath can be all black, and then I get up in this hair and I want to get a closer look to see what that hair detail is. I can switch out of that.
Nice, yeah.
So Russ, we missed you at Freelance Fandango this morning.
Yeah, I had a chiropractic appointment, and then I just had a lot going on at home that I had to get done. But I will be there next week.
Actually,
Next week.
there won't be one next week.
Oh.
Because of the aforementioned national
Oh.
holiday.
Yep.
Yeah, anytime there's a federal holiday, both Epic Sketch Time and Freelance Fandango get mixed.
Gotcha.
I should mention that to you.
Good to know, or else I would have just showed up.
And no doubt there'll be other people showing up
Okay.
who you forgot.
Yeah, it
But
happens.
those are pretty good at letting people know when everything's on.
Looks like you had another pretty decent show up today too.
Yeah, we one of the regulars, Lisa Lawrence, hasn't been in for a long time, and the reason for that was she had a day job. Heaven forbid. She was actually working for a while, but her workplace decided to make things difficult for her because they were doing massive layoffs all over the place. So they started making things more difficult so that they could, possibly claim that if she left ahead of time that she can't get unemployment. But she has a documentation of a hostile work environment.
Nice.
So she'll be able to get her unemployment. It's a shame that companies will do that ploy.
Yeah, the previous company I just was working for, I put in unemployment for it, and they haven't disputed it. So I guess they realized that they were in the bad for the hostile work environment they created for me, and didn't do anything about it.
They decide not to dispute it?
No, they're not going to. As of right now, it's been a week. They haven't. So. But who knows? Things could change. But I also have documentation showing, that they, didn't correct the situation and let it go for far too long.
Yeah, Brill was telling me about the situation with that particular individual.
It's a shame. I really liked working there too. It wasn't like it was a bad job. It was really fun. It's just unfortunate that, there's always that one person that's got to ruin it for you. Mark, have you worked Emerald City before?
Oh, I've done Emerald City many times.
Oh, okay. What can I expect? Like, I've never done it. People have told me that it's like the Super Bowl of shows. Like,
it is the largest show. Let's see. Well, you're going to have it fairly easy because you're going to have Brill at your table.
Yeah.
Brill will not leave. You gotta watch out for that. You gotta force that man to eat. All he'll do is just get high off a caffeine all the day and then complain at the end of the day that he's, lightheaded.
Oh, jeez.
Now he won't get up and eat.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's dangerous when you're doing something, especially that many days in a row.
Yes.
So if you want to look after him, I would recommend that you insist that he bring food for the table.
Okay, I always do.
Yeah.
And Bill, are you going to be you going to be around in the neighborhood, or are you just going to come there Saturday and Sunday, or what's your situation?
Oh, well, obviously I'm in the neighborhood. Generally, what I've been doing the last few times is pretty much hang out in the park in the back and do some life drawing.
Right on.
Bill's often good enough to do a food run for you.
Oh, very cool.
Not that I'm volunteering for you or anything, Bill. But it's always good to have, a very stable booth partner so that you can go and do bathroom breaks.
Yes.
Having those refreshments available at your table, always good.
Yes.
Have as much of your material as possible pre-signed. I know you're thinking, oh, I want to be interactive. I want to work. When you get flooded, you won't have a chance to be that interactive. You want to be ready to make the sale and move on to the next sale.
Yeah.
Because it'll happen in spurts like that. Now, there'll be huge times when you'll have absolutely nothing happening at your table.
Oh, okay.
But for the most, but no, really, I encourage you to pre-sign stuff.
Okay.
My wife, that's what she has me doing. As soon as we're set up, she has me signing stuff in case I haven't already signed it before the show. Sign it and bag it.
Yes.
Just have it.
We already have it all bagged from previous shows.
But do you have it signed?
No. See, that's what I usually like to sign it with, with the
Yeah.
person there. So that is a good plan. I will make sure that happens.
I have literally signed hundreds of things ahead of time when
Nice.
I was selling $1 posters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Only $1,
Yeah.
So what happened with the $1 posters was a friend of mine named Warren Caves ran a shop in Tacoma for a while called the Tacoma Art Supply.
Okay.
And one year, the Tall Ships Expo did really, really well, phenomenally well, outlandishly well.
Okay.
And he thought, I want to do a poster, have something tall ship-wise, and you do the artwork, and I'll sell them for $5 each, and we'll make them in. And I said, okay, that sounds like a plan. I'm on board. Tall Ships the next year was poorly structured, terribly organized, and it bombed. Just bombed. And I said, Warren, how many did you sell? I didn't sell any.
Jeez.
And I'm kind of going, well, what are you doing with them? He says, I've been giving them away free with purchase. And I'm going, that does absolutely nothing for me. You said you'd be selling them for $5 each. He said, well, I tried, but I couldn't sell them. I said, well, how am I going to get my money back? And then he says, well, I tell you what, here's a box. You sell them for whatever you want. And I said, okay, I will. And I figured, well, you know what? I'm going to sell these for $1. I was kind of angry at him. I said, I'll sell them for $1,
Right.
And they would pay for my parking and my lunch money. 4 years. I did find, and then I kept going back for him to get more and more boxes. And eventually his shop closed down, and I got the remaining boxes. And I said, "My God, how many of these did you print?" He says, "Oh, I was overly optimistic." I said, "How many?" I says, "Yeah, 4,000."
Oh, wow.
So it took me about 4 years.
Dang.
But
Okay.
I sold them all.
Yeah. Wow, I still have one in mine kicking around somewhere.
4,000. Dang.
Yeah, they go pretty, you know, and I even was giving them in bags too, so they were big posters too, weren't they, Bill?
Yeah. I mean, 3x2, isn't it?
They were significantly big. I would say almost 2 feet by almost 3 feet. Yeah, they were very large prints. And the reason they were printed that big was we were at the print shop, and I said to Warren, I said, "Hey, you know, we could probably cut costs here. Let's talk to the printer and see what type of paper he has kicking around." He says, "What do you mean?" I says, "Well, sometimes somebody orders some paper, and it's just sitting on a flat here, and they cancel on the project, and then the printer is stuck with this big flat of paper." And I think that's one of the reasons why he printed 4,000 was there was this huge flat of that size of paper, and we figured, how many of these posters can we fit on it? It turned out that we could fit 3 posters on it. And the printer was kind of going, "Oh yeah, we'll give you a deal on that." Just worked out.
Now, next year, how can I get in? Like, again, like, the only reason I even got in was because Brill, you know,
Well,
is generous enough to allow me to share a table with him. But next year, if I want my own table,
you'll
is that
have
even
to,
feasible?
yeah, you'll have to do what everyone else does.
What's that?
Apply for the table, and
Okay.
you may or may not get in.
Okay.
Like, I didn't get in last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd been in every single year, but last year I couldn't get in. It might have been to do with the fact that I was selling T-shirts,
Oh.
and they don't want you. I realized that they don't want. They only want people in the vendors to be selling T-shirts.
Okay.
So what I did was in this application, I didn't write down that I was selling T-shirts.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I won't be selling T-shirts because their ReedPop has started to get a little persnickety about that.
Huh.
Now I know you don't have T-shirts.
No, but I have framed art that I paint on the glass.
Ah, well, that falls underneath the category of print, though.
Okay.
Now, you're not dealing with what are called the T-shirt towers.
Gotcha.
You've got these towers of T-shirts upstairs that people are, they're trying to sell,
Yeah.
and those people have paid premium bucks to have that table. And
No, it makes sense.
but I could be wrong. They could have just thought oh well, this guy, he's been in, let's give someone else a chance.
Yeah, everybody I seem to talk to at the last couple of cons that I went to, even the I Love Comic Con, the one I just did, they were saying how they've changed. Like, I guess there's a new management or something like that, and
Yeah,
Yes.
Reed Pop.
yeah, and like I guess everybody's kind of really upset with them because like there's some vendors that said that they've done it for years and now have not been able to get in because I don't know whether they just don't care for them or what.
It's hard to figure out why people aren't getting in.
Yeah.
I said I was a writer this time,
Oh, okay.
so I'm kind of over in the writer section. And I was worried that I would be, with strictly, in writers, not with artists.
Yeah.
But someone else was saying, my wife was saying she did the research, and the other people in that section, a lot of them are like me. They're people who've written their own comics.
Oh, okay.
Now, I thought for sure I was going to be a shoo-in last year because the year before, I got into Monster and Danes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is?
I don't.
Well, if you get accepted, and I don't know why Brill didn't do this, he never does, probably because he's too busy doing other things.
Okay.
If you do get accepted into the show,
Uh-huh.
you can submit artwork for what's called Monsters and Danes.
Oh, yeah. And
Monst-
I didn't even know about it because I'm not. I found out from you. You told me about this,
yeah,
but I'm not on the email list because Brill is on the email list.
right, and only Brill could apply for it
Oh,
because the table's underneath his name.
yes, it is.
So, but if you do get in,
Yeah.
then you can submit art for it. I submitted art. Let's see. I've submitted art 3 times, and I've only gotten in once.
Wow.
And the time I got in, I'd submitted 2 pieces. One of them being the piece that I submitted the year prior, and the piece that I submitted the year prior was the one that they selected.
Oh, okay.
I also got angry when they didn't select that piece the previous year, and so I entered it into a professional illustrator show, and I won a silver.
Oh,
And
nice.
I advertised that. I said, "Hey guys, look what I did! I won a silver for this thing that you turned away."
Yeah.
So, but I'm told that different people are in charge of that every year. So
Wow.
I don't even know if the same people were reviewing it the next year. But my art didn't make the cut this year. And I'm just not going to take it personal.
No.
Pity. I like that one.
Oh, it had its weaknesses.
Did you post it? I didn't even see you post it. Did you?
Well, I didn't post it because I was working on it in this group. That's how Bill saw it.
Oh, okay.
But I can show you what it looks like.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
See what it looks like.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now this is the one that won the silver.
Oh, okay, I've seen that one. The one you have it on your business card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find the.
I really like that one.
I really liked it too. I thought, I'm really proud of that one. That won an award and everything. I'm gonna come
Right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Everything's better with tikis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the one I did for this year.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness.
It's 5:30.
But it didn't get in.
Oh, shame, man. I like it.
I still might print it up anyway for the show. I thought it was a little weak, and I left this big area down here for my signature.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's my strongest work, but I do like it quite a bit.
I like it. If you do print it, let me know. I will buy one.
Okay. Anyway, gentlemen, it has been another episode of Epic Sketch Time. If you would like to join us, please check out the link in the doobly-doo and subscribe to our notifications. We send things out by email. We will not be meeting next week. Next week being, when is the 19th. But we will be meeting after that. And say goodbye,
good.
everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, Russ.